What's happening, guys? It looks like Joe Rogan's on a naughty step again. Apparently he's a Kanye and now he's an anti-Semite. Let's take a look at what all the fuss is about.
A lot of people who feel like you do, Joe, where they just don't.
Millions.
I mean,
I was so left my whole life.
We both feel the same way you do in terms of like, you know, I don't see myself as like fitting with the Democratic Party and everything that they're doing. I just saw like Nancy Pelosi is endorsing Adam Schiff for California Senate. When you read through the way that man lied to the American public through all of Russiagate, you're like, he should be. Be like in prison for perjury, not being bolstered by one of the most powerful women in the country for the United States Senate.
Sitting next to Ilhan Omar, where she's apologizing for talking about it's all about the Benjamins, which is just about money. She's talking about money.
She shouldn't have apologized.
That's not an anti-Semitic statement. I don't think that is. It's about Benjamins or money. You know, the idea that Jewish people are not into money is ridiculous.
Listen.
That's like saying Italians aren't into pizza. It's fucking stupid.
Listen.
It's fucking stupid.
I understand that the way she phrased it, like she could have phrased it a different way so that people would have less of a freak out. But can you not talk about the influence of money in D.C.?
Of course.
This is very obvious. There's a very obvious reason why for my entire life there's been a uniparty consensus around our policy vis-a-vis the Israeli government and a total inability or unwillingness to criticize the Israeli government. It has everything to do with organization and, yes, money, just like every other fucking interest in D.C. And so, the fact that she said that and she got kicked off the Foreign Affairs Committee, look, I have issues and disagreements with Ilhan Omar, but she actually is one of the more courageous voices on foreign policy who's willing to call out some of the hypocrisy and bullshit in U.S. foreign policy. Extremely rare in terms of United States congressmen. So it's actually kind of a real loss that she got kicked off that committee.
Yeah, whether you agree with her or not, she has a bold opinion.
Well, first of all, obviously, I want to make it clear that I disavow all kinds of bigotry, no matter what it may be, whether it be racism or any kind of anti-religious sentiment and obviously anti-Semitism. With that out of the way, now, saying that Jews like money the way that Italians like pizza is it's kind of funny. I think it was a joke, to be quite honest. I would like to say that what Joe Rogan said, in my personal opinion, the words were anti-Semitic, but I don't think he meant it in an anti-Semitic way, if that makes any sense. So what I'm trying to say is, I think he was joking. I mean, saying that Jews like money the way that Italians like pizza is, I'm sorry, but it is quite funny. I think he was clearly making a joke. He didn't mean to cause any offence. But at the end of the day, I'm not here to be some Joe Rogan apologist. But I just think the whole thing was a little bit blown out of proportion. It was definitely a joke. I don't think he means to cause any offence. Joe Rogan is one of those few commentators out there who seems to have a very broad audience, and he tends to want to include everyone in the discussions that he has. He's always trying to look at things from both sides, and it may have been a flippant, not very well thought out joke, but I still think it was a joke in the end. Now, obviously, the uproar for this comes from the fact that this is a very common anti-Semitic point of attack, saying that Jews are obsessed with money and that they like money more than any other group. Obviously, that in itself is anti-Semitic. It's also complete and utter bullshit, because let's face it, everybody likes money. I like money. You like money. It doesn't matter what race or colour or religion you are. Black people love money. White people love money. Asian people love money. Everyone loves money just as much as the other guys. So to say that Jews have some sort of inherent love of money, it is anti-Semitic. It is offensive. But like I said previously, you have to take the broader context into account. He was joking. He was clearly joking. I mean, the money pizza thing, it was a joke, man. Come on, let's face it, it was a joke. But yeah, I can understand why there would be some people in the Jewish community who would be upset by those words, by that sentiment, especially as it's been used as a point of attack for many years, for decades, and the similarities I suppose everyone's a little bit more sensitive now because of all the similarities between what happened with Kanye and what's happened now with Joe Rogan, and it just seems like there's a lot of attention on this particular group at the moment. Now, no matter what you may think about a particular group's success or failures in that matter, you can't just throw everyone in that group into this bucket of I don't know, how can I say this? You can't just throw everyone from a particular group into one particular bucket that's marked as this group loves this particular thing, or this other group, they are always committing these actions. If you're a fan of Joe Rogan, or if you've ever watched the program, you know that he's not really that guy. I mean, he's one of the few commentators out there that I think most people can safely say, with a, obviously you don't know anybody personally and you can only go off what you see and hear them say, but out of all the people out there, Joe Rogan is one of the few people where you can actually say that this guy doesn't really have any malicious intent behind what he said. And I think you should go and watch the actual podcast, because I think the podcast in itself covered a whole range of topics, and that particular segment of the podcast covered some interesting ground, and there were some very solid points made about how there's a disproportionate lobbying power of say AIPAC in the US government, which is it's true. It's not. It's obvious. It's there for everyone to see. So yeah, there's a broader context to this. I suggest everyone go and watch the podcast for themselves and see what they think. But when it comes to online racists, there are many of them, but I don't think Joe Rogan is one of them. Anyway, guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think, and obviously help me out with the algorithm. If you can like, comment, and subscribe, help me grow the channel. I hope to get to 100 subscribers at some point soon. So yeah, any help would be much appreciated. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.